Scorpio, listen to me. If you've been feeling that heavy, suffocating energy of betrayal this September 2026, Spirit is screaming that the universe has officially stepped in. The person, or that specific group of people, who plotted against you, who smiled in your face while sabotaging you behind your back. Their karma isn't just coming, Scorpio. It's already here. They're about to watch their own carefully built illusions completely unravel while you sit untouched, fiercely protected by divine intervention. The tables aren't just turning, they are flipping entirely. Tell me in the comments right now where you're watching from, and if you're ready to step into your untouchable power, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into exactly how this divine justice is unfolding for you. Scorpio, we need to talk about the absolute energetic earthquake that is happening in your field right now this September. I'm not gonna lie, when I first tuned into your energy for this reading, the vibration was so thick I could barely catch my breath. Spirit is showing me a massive, undeniable cycle ending, specifically tied to a deep betrayal. And honestly, this wasn't just a little misunderstanding or a simple miscommunication. This was a calculated betrayal, either by one specific person or a whole group of people who thought they could outsmart you, undermine you, and get away with it. But here is the most beautiful, empowering part of this entire message, Scorpio. You are protected. The moment you decided to stop explaining yourself, the moment you pulled your energy back and detached from their chaotic, low-vibrational drama, the universe wrapped you in this impenetrable shield of divine justice. You stopped chasing, you stopped trying to fix what they intentionally broke, and that right there? That was the trigger. That was the exact second the karmic scales started tipping violently in your favor. Because let's be honest about what you've been carrying on your shoulders for the longest time. You were the one holding this entire connection together. You gave them your absolute loyalty, your fierce, unwavering Scorpio devotion, and you tried so hard to make them feel safe and seen. But instead of honoring that beautiful gift, they took you for granted. They literally sat at your table, accepted your warmth, and then went behind your back to whisper, to plot, and to sabotage your peace. It hurts, I know it does. It feels like a betrayal of the soul because you didn't just give them your time, you gave them your raw, unfiltered truth. You were deeply undervalued by people who simply didn't have the emotional capacity or the spiritual maturity to hold the depth of your spirit. They mistook your patience for weakness, and they mistook your willingness to forgive for an open invitation to keep crossing your boundaries. But listen to me, Scorpio, your withdrawal was not a defeat. It was the ultimate power move. When you finally looked at the situation, saw exactly what they were doing, and said, I am removing my energy, you didn't just walk away. You cut the cord. And that is when the atmosphere in their lives completely shifted. Because they genuinely thought you would beg. They thought you would chase them, try to clear your name, or fight for your spot in their little circle. But you didn't. You just went silent. And honestly, that silence drove them absolutely crazy. See, this person or this group did not fully understand your worth until your light was no longer shining on them. When you were actively engaged, trying to make things work and bridge the gaps they created, they felt superior. They felt like they had the upper hand because your energy was fueling their ego. But the second you detached, your absence became this massive, unavoidable mirror. Suddenly, without your light to distract them, they are left alone in the dark with their own shadows. Spirit is showing me that they are experiencing a profound, almost suffocating level of regret right now. The distance you created forced them to look at their own lives, and they really don't like what they see. They are realizing that the grass they thought was greener on the other side is actually just dead, withered grass. The karma they are facing isn't some dramatic lightning bolt from the sky. It's the natural, unavoidable consequence of their own toxic choices. Without your protective, grounding energy around them to soften the blows, their own insecurities, lies, and karmic debts are coming to collect. They are waking up to the harsh reality that they mishandled a rare gem. They pushed away the one person who actually saw them, who actually cared, and now they are surrounded by fake energy that they created themselves. But while they are drowning in their own mess, look at what is happening to you. Scorpio, your glow up right now is nothing short of supernatural. You have stepped into this incredibly private, deeply grounded, and fiercely magnetic version of yourself. You aren't broadcasting your every move anymore. You're moving in silence, doing your deep shadow work, and elevating your frequency to a level they can't even comprehend. And because you're a Scorpio, this transformation is intense. You are radiating this mysterious, untouchable energy. People can feel it when you walk into a room now. Even if you aren't saying a single word, there is this heavy, beautiful aura around you that commands absolute respect. And the people who betrayed you, they feel it the most. They are noticing you more intensely than ever before, but they can't reach you. They see you thriving, they see you looking more radiant, more powerful, and more at peace, and it absolutely intimidates them. They realize they locked themselves out of your kingdom just when you were finally sitting on the throne. You are protected, Scorpio. The universe didn't just remove them to punish you, it removed them to protect your peace, clear your path, and make room for your ultimate ascension. Scorpio, let's pull back the veil for a second and look at the actual spiritual architecture of what is happening right now. I'm looking at the cards, and Spirit is literally shouting the names of these archetypes to me. The first energy that slammed onto the table for you is the Tower. Now, don't let that scare you, because this tower is not falling on you. This is the collapse of the false foundation that this person or this group built around you. They thought they could construct this elaborate narrative, this web of half-truths and manipulations, and that you would just stay inside it, playing the role they assigned to you. But the tower is divine intervention. It is the universe violently shaking the table to expose what was hidden in the dark. The betrayal you experienced was the catalyst, but the collapse they are facing now? That is the direct result of their own deceit caving in on itself. And right next to the tower, I am seeing the Hermit, and oh, Scorpio, this is you. This is your sacred, powerful withdrawal. When you stepped back, you didn't run away in fear. You retreated into your own temple to find your truth. The Hermit holds the lantern of inner wisdom, and you have been doing the deep, quiet, unglamorous shadow work that they are completely incapable of doing. You've been asking the hard questions, healing your ancestral wounds, and realigning with your own soul's purpose. While they are running around in chaos, trying to plug the leaks in their sinking ship, you have been sitting in the quiet, rebuilding your foundation on solid, unshakable rock. Your silence wasn't emptiness, it was incubation. Then, Spirit brings injustice, paired with the moon. This is the ultimate karmic balancing act of September. The moon represents all the illusions, the gossip, the third-party whispers, and the hidden agendas that were used against you. For a while, it felt like the fog was so thick that no one could see your true intentions. But justice does not rely on perception. It relies on absolute, undeniable truth. The scales are leveling out right now. Every time they spoke poorly of you, every time they tried to minimize your worth, it was recorded in the energetic ledger. And now, the veil of the moon is lifting. The truth is coming to light, not because you are fighting to prove yourself, but because the universe is finally exposing them for exactly who they are. You don't have to lift a finger. Your integrity is defending you. And because your energy has shifted so profoundly, it has triggered something very specific in them, the Watcher dynamic. Scorpio, I need you to understand that this person is absolutely obsessed with what you are doing right now. They are watching you. They are checking your digital footprint, looking at your stories, noticing who you're around, and analyzing every subtle shift in your vibe. But it's not just a casual curiosity, it's a deep, magnetic pull that they cannot control. Even when they try to distract themselves, your energy keeps interrupting their thoughts. They will be in the middle of a conversation or trying to focus on their own life, and suddenly, a memory of you will hit them like a freight train. They feel your absence physically. But here is the twist, the emotional turn that is driving them absolutely mad. They are completely intimidated by the new version of you. When they knew you before, they felt they had you figured out. They thought they knew your triggers, your soft spots, and how to manipulate your loyalty. But this new you? The one who is grounded, radiant, and fiercely protective of your peace? They don't know how to navigate this. You have become a beautiful mystery to them. They are fascinated by your glow-up, but that fascination is tangled up with deep regret and a bruised ego. They want to reach out, they want to test the waters to see if you're still emotionally available to them, but they are paralyzed by the fear of your rejection. They are sitting in this intense inner conflict. Part of them wants to slide into your notifications, to send that vague, low-effort message just to see if you'll bite. But another part of them, the part that is finally waking up to the gravity of their betrayal, knows that they don't deserve your immediate grace. They're comparing every single interaction they have with other people to the depth and safety they had with you. And honestly, everyone else is falling short. They are realizing that the loyalty you offered was a rare, once-in-a-lifetime frequency, and they carelessly threw it away for temporary validation or petty drama. So they watch. They observe from the shadows, hoping for a crack in your armor, a sign that you miss them or that you're struggling without them. But what they find instead is your unbreakable boundary. They are realizing that your silence is not a game you are playing to get their attention. Your silence is a permanent, loving boundary you have set for yourself. And that realization is the heaviest karmic weight they have to carry. They are forced to sit with the knowledge that they had something real, something sacred, and their own immaturity and deceit cost them the greatest connection they will ever know. Scorpio, we need to address the elephant in the room, because when a betrayal of this magnitude happens, it is rarely just a quiet, two-person dynamic. Spirit is showing me very clearly that there was heavy external interference in this situation. I'm talking about third parties, a toxic friend group, or even family dynamics that actively fed this person's ego and encouraged them to cross your boundaries. They thought they had an audience. They thought they had a team backing them up, whispering in their ear, validating their worst impulses, and convincing them that they could treat you poorly and still get away with it. They surrounded themselves with yes men and enablers who helped them construct this false narrative that you are the problem. But listen to me, karma does not care about their entourage. The universe is currently dismantling that entire external structure, and it is happening fast. The interference that once felt so overwhelming to you is now crumbling under its own weight. The people who cheered for their betrayal? They are turning on them. Spirit is showing me a massive shift where the third parties and the gossipers are suddenly dropping this person, or at least exposing their true, self-serving colors. The emotional turn here is profound. The person who betrayed you is realizing that the allies they chose over you were never actually on their side. They're experiencing the bitter taste of being used by the very people they thought were their friends. The loyalty they threw away with you? They are desperately looking for it in this group, and they are finding absolutely nothing but shallow, conditional, fake energy. They are suddenly standing alone in the very room they thought they controlled. And this isolation is forcing them into a brutal, inescapable realization. Without the noise of the crowd to distract them, they are finally looking at the void you left behind. Scorpio, they are comparing everyone else to you, and honestly, it is torturing them. You brought a level of emotional safety, deep intuitive connection, and fierce, unwavering loyalty that they didn't even know how to process at the time. You were the deep, calming ocean, and they were so distracted by the shallow, chaotic puddles they chose to swim in. Now that they are stuck in those puddles, they realize how suffocating it is. They are looking at the people currently in their life and feeling completely empty because no one else challenges them, no one else sees their soul, and no one else loves them with the profound, transformative depth that you did. They know they mishandled you. I'm not gonna lie, the regret they are carrying right now is visceral. It's sitting heavy in their chest. They are replaying conversations, remembering the times you offered them grace, the times you protected their feelings, the times you stood by them when they were at their lowest. They are realizing that your love wasn't just a feeling, it was a sanctuary. And they took a sledgehammer to that sanctuary because their ego was too fragile to handle the intensity of your light. The emotional turn here is their ego death. They can no longer play the victim. They can no longer justify their actions. The mirror you held up to them through your dignified silence has forced them to look at their own reflection, and they are horrified by the person they became when they lost you. They are waking up to the fact that they didn't just lose a partner or a friend, they lost their spiritual anchor. They are noticing that their life has become chaotic, their mental health is dipping, and their emotional baseline is completely off kilter. They are trying to fill the Scorpio-shaped hole in their life with temporary distractions, but nothing is working. Your energy was so deeply woven into their daily existence that your absence has left a gaping wound they don't know how to heal. They are feeling the phantom limb of your connection, reaching out in the middle of the night, feeling the energetic cord that still faintly vibrates between you, only to remember that you cut it. But here is where you need to be careful, Scorpio. As they spiral into this realization, you might feel a sudden wave of empathy. You are a deeply feeling sign, and even when you are protected, your heart still holds compassion. You might feel a pang of pity for them, wondering if you should reach out, if you should soften the blow, if you should offer them a lifeline. But Spirit is grabbing you by the shoulders right now and saying, hold the line. Do not confuse your empathy with an invitation. Your compassion is a beautiful gift, but it is not a free pass for them to bypass their karmic lessons. They need to sit in this discomfort. They need to feel the full weight of their choices so that the lesson actually integrates into their soul. If you rush in to save them now, you rob them of their awakening, and you compromise your own hard-earned peace. Scorpio, let's talk about what happens next, because Spirit is showing me a very specific, undeniable movement coming your way. This isn't just them sitting in. They're regret forever, stewing in the karma they created. The pressure in their energetic field is building, and it is going to burst. I'm looking at the cards, and I am seeing the profound, heavy energy of the Judgment card colliding right into the Page of Swords. This means a massive, unavoidable confession is coming. They are going to break the silence. And listen to me, this isn't going to be some low-effort, casual text just to test the waters. No. This is going to be heavy. This is going to be a deeply emotional, almost overwhelming apology or a full-blown confession of everything they did wrong behind your back. They're going to lay their cards on the table because keeping the guilt and the shame inside is literally eating them alive. They might send you a long, rambling paragraph in the middle of the night, a voice note where you can actually hear the shake and the remorse in their voice, or they might even try to show up in your physical space, looking completely humbled and stripped of that arrogant ego they used to hide behind. And I need you to understand exactly why this movement is happening right now in September. It's not just because they miss the convenience of you, or because they are lonely on a Tuesday night. It's because their internal state has fundamentally shifted. They have hit a spiritual and emotional rock bottom without your light, and they realize that the only way to even begin healing their own karmic mess is to face you, look you in the eye, and tell you the absolute truth. They're coming to you seeking absolution. They want you to tell them that they aren't monsters, that they can be forgiven. But here is the beautiful, empowering emotional turn, Scorpio. You are no longer obligated to be their priest. You are no longer required to absolve them just because they finally decided to grow up and speak up. When this message, this return, or this offer of reconciliation comes in, I want you to stay completely grounded in your magnetic, untouchable energy. Do not rush to reply. Do not let your beautiful, empathetic Scorpio heart immediately jump in to soothe their pain or make them feel better about their terrible choices. Let them sit in the vulnerability they put themselves in. You get to read their words, feel the energy behind them, and use your razor-sharp intuition to discern if this is a true, lasting soul transformation or just a temporary panic because they realized they lost the best thing that ever happened to them. Honestly, the power dynamic has completely flipped, and you are the one holding the keys to the kingdom now. If they offer a commitment, if they ask for a second chance and promise to cut off those toxic third parties who influence them, you get to set the terms. You get to say, I hear you, but I need to see consistent, undeniable action over time. Or, and this is just as likely, you might look at their profound apology, feel a deep, washing sense of closure in your soul, and realize you don't even need them back in your life anymore. And that is perfectly okay. Spirit is validating whatever choice you make, as long as it comes from a place of fierce self-love and protection. You don't owe them a relationship just because they've finally realized your worth. The cycle is shifting entirely in your favor this September. You have survived the betrayal, you have done the deep, agonizing shadow work, and you have come out the other side as an absolute powerhouse. I keep seeing the angel numbers 999 and 808 flashing around your energy field right now. 999 is the ultimate, divine sign of a karmic cycle closing out for good, the end of an era of being undervalued. And 808 is the universe's promise of infinite protection, spiritual shielding, and abundant new beginnings. The betrayal was simply the fire that burned away the dead wood, and now you are stepping into a season of profound, unshakable peace. So, my beautiful Scorpio, as you move through the rest of this month, I want you to fiercely protect your peace. Keep your energy private. Keep your circle incredibly small and sacred. Trust that gut feeling you have, because your intuition is literally operating on a master level right now. If something feels off, it is. If someone feels draining, cut the cord without an ounce of guilt. You are divinely guided, you are fiercely protected, and you are so deeply loved by the universe. You didn't lose them. The universe removed them to make way for the life, the love, and the loyalty you actually deserve. Keep walking in your truth, keep glowing in your mystery, and never, ever dim your light for people who only know how to operate in the dark. Thank you so much for spending your time and energy with me today. If this reading resonated with your spirit, please leave a little like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share this with a fellow Scorpio who needs to hear it. Drop an I am protected in the comments to claim this energy. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now.